Welcome everybody to a new NBN news special where we ask the real questions, what really matters, we want the real answers.
One of the main questions in life is, why are we here? What's reason for life? And these are just my opinions. Now, if we'd been sat round years ago, caveman days, round a fire talking, and I'd said to you that in years to come, there's going to be vehicles, aeroplanes, lights, electricity, vehicles that run on some kind of fluid, take everybody round fire would have laughed at me and said I was crazy. They'd have just thought, what's he going on about? So if I now said to you in 2022 that in future robots are going to run planet, man won't have out to do, right? You'd all laugh at me. That's never going to happen. Well, it is going to happen, and it could have already happened, right? Also, I'm thinking to myself, who runs the world? Now, you've got to ask yourself who runs the world, why they would want to run the world. Now, if you're a king and you're having to run a lot of people, you'd have a lot of stress, right? And what you're protecting. Now, years ago, you were protecting your bit of land. But in these days, people have got the wealth, they've got unlimited wealth. They can give the kids a card and say, there you go for the rest of your life. Don't matter how much you spend, you've got everything. Once you've got everything, there's no reason to fight for money or even try and get money anymore, because you've done it. That's what everybody dreams of. So that begs the question, why do we keep doing it? We've got enough money and resources on this planet to feed everybody, make everybody comfortable. No haves and have-nots anymore. Everybody's got food. But yet we're in 2022 and we haven't. People are dying. Nations are starving. That shouldn't be happening, right? So this is what I think's really going on. Now, like I said about campfire, if I'd have told you certain things years ago, you'd have laughed at me. Well, what if I said this to you now? That the globe and the map of the world, what you've been shown since a little kid, and so have your parents and their parents, is not true? What if this world, what we know in all countries, is just a little part of it? A little part of it, right? And we've been misinformed and we believe it. That gives me some answers, because the reason somebody would do that and lie to us is so that they can cover something else up. Now, if they ain't told us about somewhere, that means somewhere there is an absolute niche, a perfect elation place, a utopia for people. They don't need anything. It's paradise. Everything's there. Everybody gets on. There's no such thing as war. None of that, right? And then you probably ask, so why is it not here? Because if humans get told certain things, then they argue, fuss and fight about it. So these people only have to start a rumour, like let's take racism for example, or gender issues, things like that. They put these things into his mind, so we all keep faffing about and arguing and that, while these other motherfuckers are somewhere else what we don't even know about. You probably think I'm crazy, but don't, because think back to caveman story. They'd have all thought he were crazy, saying that we're going to have aeroplanes and that. They'd have laughed at him, probably thought he were insane. So for me to tell you that there is somewhere else on this earth what has not been mapped out, an absolute dream of a place, right? Heaven, basically heaven on earth. That shouldn't be so unbelievable to you. You should be able to understand that. Now, wars. If you ask any man, right, the cause may be strong, right? An argument's been put to these people, so they've got to have a war. No man really wants to go and fight and die for any reason. Neither would a woman. No reason. They won't want to. Why ain't everybody just nice to each other? That could happen, but it doesn't. And I think it's because people are being poisoned and brainwashed and controlled. See, when you're born, you know nothing, and things you do know now is just little bits of information what you've picked up from people. So, if I said to my dad, for instance, I want to go and explore the world, he'd say, everything's been found, all land's been found. So that'd make me think, there's no point, I better just get on with this plan. Well, it were never my plan. Somebody else has made this plan, and you've got to ask yourself, why would they make this plan, this rat race going on? And if you start connecting all dots, it's all to sabotage us. It's to keep us heads busy and not think about the bigger things, questions. Now, why can't, if man tomorrow just said, right, that's it, everybody's going to get along, right? Nobody's going to starve.